What if the version of you living the life you've always dreamed of already exists? Not somewhere far away in the future, but right now, in a parallel reality running side by side with the one you're in. Sounds crazy, right? But here's the thing. Science, spirituality, and personal experience are all hinting at the same truth. That reality isn't fixed. It's fluid. It's more like a collection of infinite movies playing on different channels all at once. And the one you watch, the one you experience, depends on which version of yourself you choose to be. I didn't believe this at first either. Back in 2017, I was stuck in a routine life, selling women's shoes in a department store, feeling like my dreams were galaxies away. Then, almost by accident, I stumbled on a concept that would change everything. It wasn't about wishing for a better life or waiting for the universe to drop it into my lap. It was about shifting who I was being, right here, right now, so that my reality had no choice but to catch up. That's what this video is about. How to stop waiting for change and start living as the version of you who already has it all. Let's start with this idea: infinite parallel realities. Imagine reality like channels on a TV. Every channel represents a version of life. On one channel, you're still stuck in the same patterns, the same doubts, the same struggles. On another, you've already broken free. You're confident, fulfilled, living with purpose. The crazy part: all those channels exist right now. The TV doesn't create them when you switch the remote. They're already there, waiting. So what's the remote? It's you, your energy, your choices, your identity. Back in 2017, I realized I was living on the stuck channel. The version of me who was free, creative, successful, that guy already existed. I just wasn't being him yet. I remember this moment so clearly. I was sitting in my dad's house thinking, what would the version of me who's a full-time YouTuber be doing right now? And the answer was simple. He'd be making videos. Every day. No excuses. So I started. After long shifts at work, I'd come home, film a video in my sister's room when she wasn't there, edit it, post it, and wake up the next day to do it again. I didn't wait until I felt ready. I didn't wait until my circumstances changed. I became the version of me who was already living that reality. And slowly, my life began to rearrange itself around this new identity. See, this is where people get stuck. They wait for evidence before they believe. But reality works the other way around. You shift first. The evidence follows. Now let's talk about how to actually do this. The first step is awareness. You have to notice which channel you're currently tuned into. Be honest with yourself. What version of you are you being right now? What are your daily thoughts, feelings, and actions creating? The second step is imagination. Use meditation or visualization to connect with the version of you who's already living the life you want. What does their day look like? How do they feel when they wake up? What choices do they make without hesitation? But here's the key. Don't just see it, feel it. Because when you feel it as real, your energy starts to align with that reality. I used to meditate on what it felt like to wake up as a full-time creator, traveling, teaching, living with freedom. I didn't beg for it. I didn't hope for someday. I felt it as if it was already true. That feeling began to change everything. My mindset, my actions, even the way opportunities showed up in my life. But you can't stop at meditation. The third step is action. Reality responds to bold moves. When I started posting videos daily, it wasn't comfortable. I was tired. I doubted myself. Some videos flopped. But each action was like planting a flag in the new reality, saying, "This is who I am now." And then something strange happened. I started noticing little signs, a kind comment from a stranger, a sudden boost in views, someone reaching out to collaborate. These were what I call thought markers, tiny reflections of the new reality peeking through. And every time one appeared, I celebrated it, not with fake excitement, but with real gratitude. Because it meant the shift was working. Most people ignore these small signs. They brush them off because they're looking for the big breakthrough. But those little markers, they're proof that the timeline is changing. That's why gratitude is so powerful, it locks in the shift. Now let's address something else, the noise of the world. In the book Reality Transurfing, there's this concept of pendulums. Basically, they're collective thought patterns like energetic whirlpools pulling people in. The news cycle, online drama, even certain belief systems, they feed on your attention, and the more you fight them, the stronger they get. The solution: stop feeding them. Observe, don't engage. Your energy is precious. Spend it building the reality you want, not fueling the ones you don't. Here, what's wild. Science tells us we experience only a tiny fraction of reality, about 40 bits of information per second out of millions available. So what determines which bits we notice? Our focus, our beliefs, our state of being. Two people can walk into the same room and live completely different realities based on what they're tuned into. That's why shifting isn't about forcing the external world. It's about changing the lens you're looking through. I want to share something personal here. When I first started this journey, I thought success would finally make me feel whole. But what I learned is that the real shift wasn't external, it was internal. It was realizing that the version of me I wanted to become wasn't someone far away. He was me, minus the doubts, minus the waiting, minus the excuses. And that version was always available. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one area of your life you want to transform, just one. Maybe it's your career, your health, your relationships. Then ask yourself, what does the version of me who's already living that reality do differently? How do they think? How do they feel about themselves? And then, this is the scary part, start being that person now, before the evidence, before the results. Because reality doesn't change when you need it to. It changes when you've already shifted into the version of you who lives there. This isn't magic, it's alignment, it's physics. It's consciousness choosing a new channel. So meditate, imagine, act boldly, celebrate the small signs, let go of the noise. And one day you'll wake up and realize you've shifted so far that the old reality feels like a distant dream, not because you forced it, but because you finally gave yourself permission to be who you were always capable of being. The version of you living your dream life. They're not waiting in the future. They're waiting for you to catch up. So stop waiting. Start shifting. Today,